Well, hello everyone. Welcome to a Yarkshire Gamer's monthly update. And they said Read Big Ball podcast then. I've just finished recording a podcast with Stephen Wall from Australia. And we are 28 degrees here in Yorkshire and about 14 in Australia, which is an unusual way round for sure. And I'm absolutely boiling up in the games room, which has turned itself into a bit of a makeshift sauna. But welcome anyway. Welcome to July's update. Thank you all for watching. It amazes me that 500-600 of you tune in every month for this, but welcome. You are very, very welcome. So we're going to have a look, as usual, of the things that we've been doing this month during the hobby. A little bit of painting. I've kind of backed off that. I'm just starting to pick up the speed again with that, and we'll have a look what we've done this month. New stuff into the games room, and there's a game on the table behind the trees and the buildings that you can look at. So there's plenty to talk about. So let's get straight on and have a look what's come from the lead pile to the paint pile. So the first unit this month is the one that was work in progress last month as usual, and these are the 28mm Italian Wars of Independence, a Gringo 40 Papal St Patrick's Battalion, and this is going to be the skirmish line for that battalion, and they were nearly finished last time we looked at them, and I just finished off the detailing on them and did the bases, and they are ready to go, ready for action. It's going to be major projects at Christmas, as you're probably aware if you've watched these before, and this is a taster for this battalion, and there will be 5 close order bases behind these 3 skirmish bases. Not got a set of rules as yet. Struggling really to find one at battalion level. The Age of Valor, which is kind of a more brigade level, which is not what I'm looking for with this. So the search is on. If you know any good rules that would fit the Risorgimento or the Italian Wars of Independence, then do let me know in the comments. I'd be grateful. I'm looking around for a set as we speak. Got to be battalion level based, and not too bothered about complexity, because what people think are complex nowadays is fairly straightforward compared to old school rules. But there we go, these figures from Gringo 40. I'm going to do a review on the blog, and just that is an awesome picture, isn't it? I've just zoomed in at random there on those 2 guys, and they really do look the business. So I'm going to do a review in general on the Gringo 40 stuff on the blog, and do a little video to go along with it, just to show you the range of figures that I'm buying into. They're going to get painted towards Christmas. So that's the first little unit finished this month. So next up is this, again, a test base of 6 figures, Gringo 40. These are the Garibaldi Troops, the famous red shirts, and another test base just to see what they look like. 6 figures on a 60 by 60. I've just extended the depth of the base just to protect the bayonets on the figures. They are metal castings, again superb, can't really fault these. Great looking figures, and that's the front on view. If you notice, one thing that I do with double ranked figures is I stagger them so that you get to see the rear rank figure from the front. I find that when I'm looking at units where they are based directly behind each other, it just looks like an open order. There's a great deal of space between the figures, and this just fills the unit out, gives it a lot more presence on the table, I find. And looking at that picture, it tells 1,000 stories. And if you're marching, fair enough, you need to be directly behind the guy behind. But if you're shooting, the last place you want to be is directly behind the guy in front, because what? You're going to shoot him in the back of the head, aren't you? So, great details on these. Very similar to American Civil War. The Canterbury hat, which is this one here, kind of separates these out. They did wear kepis as well. I'm just doing a unit in more civilian type common hats. and red shirts, green facings, and then messing around with trouser colours, etc., just to see what they like. But I'm really happy with that base. I think that unit is going to come out really, really nicely, and I'm looking forward to finishing those off. So let's have a little zoom in, see what we get. Yeah, happy with that. I like those. I'll just move that base along to the right. Yeah. What can I say? Great figures, great sculpts, paint up brilliant. Gringo 40s recommended. And as I say, there'll be a review coming very soon. And the final painted figures for this month are these. And I hope you all sat down, because these are 15mm or 1:100. These are the first painted stuff for my Team Yankee Oil War 1980s, mid-80s Arab-Israeli stuff, and these are Israeli infantry that I've painted up. The box set that come Mechanised Company, I think the box set's called, and you get these little unit cards with them that are very nice. I do hope I can get the rules to work, because I like these cards and I like the way they look, and I do like a good card in my stuff. Gonna have to work with the activation system, because the current one, bit Games Workshop-y, bit I kill you, you've got nothing left to play in the second turn. So we'll have a play test with them and see what we come along with. I've done a separate tutorial video on painting these, which will come out very soon. In the meantime, let's just have a bit of a zoom in. And yeah, I'm really happy with those. I've not painted any 15mm for a long time, and the faces have come out quite nicely. And yeah, I had to buy some new tufts. So the tufts that I had were for 28mm and were very quickly covering up the figures completely, so you couldn't see them. So I bought some new tufts, but you know, that for 15mm, for the first ones I've done in a long time, I am happy with those. So you will see over the coming months the build up of this modern stuff. Planning to get this done well before I start on the Italian Wars of Independence, and to be honest, 15mm and vehicles probably won't take me that long, so I'll probably rush through these. But there you go, that's everything painted this month. Let's have a look at Twerk in Progress. So, Twerk in Progress is going to be a bit of a walk around the house, because we've got all these oil painted stuff, and if you saw on Twitter, I did 126 horses in 4 hours, and this is the first lot. This is some 28mm World War I Turkish, and I forget who these are from now. I painted some a while back, and this will make a unit of 24. And we're in the spare room now at the top of the house, because I needed to spread all this stuff out so it could dry. But on the left, we've got some, again, the Gareth from Lord Raglan sent me these, some Italian War stuff from a Kickstarter, and for the life of me I can't remember the name of the figures. They're very nice, and just 4 of the horses needed oil in, the rest were all covered in armour, so they should appear on the table at some stage. And then these guys here, this is 28mm Crusader Turker piles from Gripping Beast. Could be a long while before the rest of those see any paint. I'm just not feeling it for the Crusades at the moment, but eventually we'll get there. When I do these big horse days, I just do absolutely everything that's in the house that needs oils. So these are done, and it's a unit. I've got lots of Crusades units sat and ready to go. So we'll see eventually when they get done. And then continuing the move around the room, we've got 4 lots of Italian Wars cavalry, 12 apiece, all Perrys. And this first lot here are a unit of 12 mounted crossbow, all oiled up, ready to go, and we'll see what we do with those in due course. And then in the box behind them, we've got a unit, again, 12 Italian Wars light cavalry, armed with lance, and guide officer with the sword. They're in the to-do pile, so that they'll be fairly quickly done. You should see those painted fairly soon. Next up, we've got more Italian Wars. These are westernised Stradiots from Perry's. I've already got a unit of 12 Stradiots. Sorry, 24 Stradiots I've got, and this will take me to 48, which is probably going to be enough. And I just fancy getting some of these westernised ones with helmets and chest armour and the standard Stradiot command. And then in the box behind them, as you can see, more Stradiots. It's the second unit of 12. They are, or will have, hand weapons, and the first ones will be bow armed. And then finally, the last lot of cavalry I did are some, again, World War One, and these are Indian cavalry for Mesopotamia from New Line Designs. And regular followers will have seen a unit of these I painted about a year ago. And these and the Turkish are needed for a game at Christmas this year, so eventually I'll get around to doing that. I also painted another 6 horses for standard bearers for Italian Wars Command, so they're on the go. And downstairs I've got some Italian Wars carts that are just being based, and you should see those next month. So that's work in progress. We're going back up through the gears, and we're getting a bit of speed on. We're getting some new figures out through the door fairly soon, so there'll be hopefully plenty to see next month. So, new stuff into Yorkshire Gamer this month. We've got this next batch of Gringo 40 stuff, buying a reasonable amount each month, a couple of units each month, just to build up a nice stock of figures for when I go for the big push at Christmas time. I'll just move the lights around on that. There we go, that's a little bit better, showing you the detail. And I've bought another 48 figures, that'll be 2 units of 24 for the Garibaldi troops. And I've just bought these in firing poses and a few loading poses. This guy here, just need to glue the musket onto his hands to put him in a loading pose, reaching for some ammunition. So great figures, as we've already discussed on these. Let's see if it'll focus. There we go. Very American Civil War in look, and I'm going to be using some Perry's miniatures for this, as you may have seen last month with the Papal Zouaves. But yeah, so there's another 48 Gringo 40 in through the door. Which just leaves me with this month's Team Yankee haul, and this will be the last purchase now, until I've built them up and played some games and see what else I need. So this month, a bit of help for the Syrians. I've got some Hinds, a couple of Hind helicopters. I do love those, they're fantastic models. I would have bought those probably anyway, they're absolutely lovely. And just to keep those occupied, I've bought a unit of Israeli anti-aircraft Red Eye SAM unit, along with this is more again to get it over 75 quid for the postage, a couple of ZSU 23-4 Shilkers for the Israelis. I didn't realise the Israelis had used these. I thought they were Syrians and all the other countries around them, but I'll look into that, maybe use them as Israelis. I might just use them for my Syrians, let's see. And then a couple more units to perk up the Israelis. We've got these guys, the Pereth anti-tank platoon, ingenious thing. Looks like a tank, but it's actually an anti-tank guided missile launcher. Looks absolutely sort of Space 1999. It's an amazing bit of kit, so I kind of had to have one of those. And then finally, a platoon of Merkavas. I've got 3 in the introduction set. And that's kind of it really for the Team Yankee. I'm going to paint them all up now. I might invest in a box of T54s if I can find any. I think Fate of a Nation was the game before this one, which is slightly earlier, and they did some good deals on T54s in a box set, but I've not seen it available for a while. So see if I can get my hands on one. But that's it for this month purchases in, and I've built up quite a lot for the Team Yankee stuff. That's ready to go. The Gringo 40, I'll keep adding to that as we come to Christmas. But I've got no major ideas for purchases this month, so who knows? I'm sure I'll have changed my mind when we come back next month. And our reporter from the front line actually has something to report on today. We've been Italian warsing in the games room, and this is the aftermath of our first run through of the Battle of Fornovo, and very little terrain. We've just got the main river running down the middle of the table, as you can see, and a bit of broken ground around there. I'll add some trees and stuff for photographic purposes later on. But this is the aftermath of the battle, and for those of you who don't know, it's the Italians are attacking across 3 fords towards the French, who were marching up the table and towards our lovely blue sky. And on the left wing here, the Italians and the French heavy cavalry fought each other to a standstill and wiped each other out, which is why the Italian tiny bit of German infantry and some Italian infantry are heading over that ford with not a lot in the way, apart from that 96-figure Swiss pike block. So let's just say the Italians aren't getting over the wall, over that ford for very much longer. In the centre, again, this is at the end of the battle. It's very much gone the Italians' way. All this light cavalry is sweeping down the flank towards the baggage train, and there's not a lot really for the French to do to stop it. And they managed to take out 2 guns on the way through, and the French centre has been pretty much decimated. The best Italian cavalry is facing the gendarmes in the centre, and after some real heavy fighting in and around the ford, they've managed to punch out and get through and into some French foot units. There wasn't a lot of units that would have pike at this time. The Swiss, obviously, but Italian infantry would mostly be spear armed or pole armed, and so we've probably got miles too many Italians with pikes in this battle, but they've not come to contact, to be fair. So we've got sword and buckler unit there for the Italians, which is one of their favourite ways of fighting. Some light cavalry, some crossbowmen, and an Italian pike block just coming over the centre ford. So the Italians have kind of punched through in the middle there, which has given them victory. There was the baggage train here, but that's downstairs being properly based. It was just all loose when we played the game. And then on the French right-hand ford, as you can see, it's kind of battled into stalemate. There's a light cavalry unit that's got over, but the gendarmes and the pike are moving to block that road across. Just a quick view down the table for you to have a look at. Italian Wars is by far one of the most colourful periods going. It looks absolutely fantastic on the table, and this is just on a 12-foot table. Imagine what it could look like on an even bigger one, and maybe we might have to do that soon. So we're just zooming in on a few units here. That's the Borgia pike block there. Obviously, we've got some units out of time. The Julius pike block in the middle is obviously later than Fornovo, but you can't. I don't think you can have 28mm Italian Wars armies for the start, middle and end. I'm just not that rich, unfortunately. And just finally, because I know big favourite unit for a lot of people, this is the Familia Leonis Italian Spearman unit. I didn't get into action, but it stayed safe on its side of the ford, and it was just lovely to have it on the table and move it around a bit. So that was this month's From the Front Line. So, scores on the doors. My little chance to see where things are going with followers of Yorkshire Gamer. Once again, take this opportunity to thank all the followers on all the social media. It's great of you, really is, to follow the ramblings of a middle-aged wargamer. Thank you very much for that. Facebook, steady away, up 8. Twitter's up 24, so that's dropping off now. Instagram, no idea. Still, another 193 people. Welcome to Instagram. Welcome to Yorkshire Gamer on Instagram. I hope you enjoy it. YouTube's, we're nearly on 1,000. If you know anybody, give them a nudge. Just get us over 1,000. That'd be fantastic. And then the podcast, steady away. Another 10%. Another 11 followers. Podcast is going great. Really enjoying doing that. Just recorded another one today with Stephen Walls from Australia. And we've got plans coming up now to November. I think I'm more or less sorted for episodes, and I hope you're enjoying that. If you've not come across it, pop onto Podbean or any of the podcasts. Look up for Yarkshire Gamer with an A, and the podcast will come up. And give us a listen. Give it a try. Be great to have you on board. So that leaves me just to say thank you once again for tuning in for the monthly update, and hopefully I'll see you again next month. We'll have more Italian Wars on the table. We'll hopefully have some more stuff painted and lots to talk about. The virus seems to be coming back a little bit, so fingers crossed we get to carry on gaming, we get to carry on keeping our health, and make sure you contact people on Twitter and the likes, and have a bit of social interaction with other gamers if you're stuck on your own, and let's make this hobby the happy place that it should be, and help each other get on and get hobbying. So enjoy your gaming, enjoy July and August, and I'll see you again in a month, and I'll let you know what's going on here. City.